What's up, you guys? I'm like reading the same stuff, but I did a dating app red flags. Sure you do. Okay, so I did a dating app red flags not too long ago. And this was before I met this particular person. And I did a video in regards to the 2 horoscopes that was posted in the Woo Plus app for this week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it because I deleted the pictures and the video, where, I deleted them so that way they will never be anywhere. And I didn't have my cloud up. But the horoscope stated that it's going to be a burgeoning date or meeting with this particular person. And it's going to be dynamic, but they would telling me to think otherwise because it may ruin my reputation. And this person is a Gemini, and it told them to go on a solo adventure to meet up with a possible romance. And for him, he was like, I was thinking, okay, so we're not compatible. We're not supposed to even be together, even though we immediately clicked and connected, and it became like really steamy. Okay, steamy in regards to how the conversation and the talks and the texts and the voice messages afterwards, started coming. And so I was like, but I was vibing with them, okay? Like really vibing, really connecting with so many similarities, so many things that we share of interest and things of that nature. And I'm like, why is my horoscope saying this? So this was at the beginning of the week. This was Sunday when we first initially talked. Monday, we're still talking. I'm still vibing with them, still connecting with them. As of Thursday, that is when things started taking, a different turn. Well, Wednesday is when this particular person was like, I don't think that the vibe, are we still feeling a connection? And that is because I'm trying to move the conversation away from just talking about sex, because we connect on so many different things. And yes, we have like this major attraction towards one another in regards to a sexual attraction. However, why are we just talking about that? It's like the conversation can have a balance and or mix, right? I don't know. But the conversation continued from this other party more into just that. And everything else seemed to started, fizzing out. And so I was like, oh man, one of those again. And of course, if you're on dating with, meeting guys on online apps, and especially on apps such as Woo Plus, where it is designed for women and men who are of plus size nature, and as far as physical attributes, you find that you have a lot of people coming to you, men or women. You have a lot of women coming on there trying to talk to men who are trying to get their OnlyFans page or Only page or whatever it's called, and they are call girls, but on the professional side where they have like apps and shit. And so it's a lot of scammers too, and people who are just trying to get your information, but and use it for like identity theft and things of that nature. So it's like so much going on. So when you think that you've met someone, you feel like, okay, this is it, right? You feel like, okay, I think, this is going to go somewhere. Is this like unbelievable? I'm connecting with this person and we're vibing like this, come on. So unfortunately, then the person is like, the next day after they try to get me to say that I'm not connecting with them, then, I no longer receive their, morning texts and all of that started off like, hey, good morning, baby, and all of this. And again, we have not met, okay? So, and then they're like, been just too busy at work. We were supposed to be meeting today between noon and 2 or whatever, just as a meetup. And they're claiming that they were so busy at work, yet they're still texting and talking to you throughout the day. And, of course, that's a possibility. So we never meet up. And the conversation still gets like really steamy or whatever. And we're two consenting adults or whatever. I have not been in a relationship since my son's father, which is 2019 of November. Exactly. And I'm not racing to get back into that situation. So not ready and not looking forward to it. So I just want to, talk and date and get to know people, hang out, and we're two consenting adults though. So if it happens, it happens or whatever. But I don't want the friends with benefits and the no strings attached. And it seems like a lot of people cannot finesse their way into that without screwing up before that happens. And then you learn, okay, they're fetishizing. It's about a fetish. And this is the only thing that they want. One of the red flags that do come up when you're talking to someone, and I remember, I'll put that up here, but remember the first date knows. One of them, and a lot of dudes were saying that too, but the first date knows is going back to my place or your place. I don't want to go to your place, and I don't want you to come to my place. Not as a first date, and it's not even a first date. It's like we can't even do a meetup. Whereas you're already talking about coming to my house. Now, going back to the horoscope, when they were talking about reputation, I could not figure out what it meant as far as my reputation. I'm like, what are they talking about? Because again, the conversation had not moved to, the sexualness of like really becoming steamy to the point where he can't have a conversation without talking about that. So it's letting me know, okay, this is what he wants. One of the red flags is the fact that we're trying to do a meetup so that way we can make sure that the chemistry is still there once we meet up, face to face in person. We've done, FaceTime type messages, FaceTime type conversations, et cetera. And, but still, that's not the same. That's not the same as far as meeting someone and seeing if the chemistry is there. People can finesse their way in through a FaceTime and or a phone call. You know what I mean? And or text messages. However, one of the red flags to me as far as the first date knows has been and will always be coming to my place. And here's where the reputation comes in. I've been in my house for over 12 years with my daughter as a young girl and now my son, because I literally started over. And even if I didn't have someone here, such as a child, a minor, whereas if I'm going to get a babysitter, usually my niece is going to come here to babysit my son. So I'm not going to, what do you, and I want to go out. I don't want to be in the house. I'm in the house. I work from home. Why would I want to be in the house? Why would I want to be in your house as doing nothing else? You're talking about, so now all of a sudden you couldn't do the meetup today between noon and 2. We were supposed to at least plan for it tomorrow or Sunday. Now he's stating that he can't do it Saturday, but he can possibly meet on Sunday, whereas he can come to my house and hang out with me. That's not my ideal situation as far as the first meetup. I want to go somewhere outside of my house. Again, I've been in my house all week because I work from home. I want to go out. I don't want to be inside the house. Now, if we went out and we were chilling and we were vibing and we were connecting and we were having fun, then who knows? Do you want to come back in, for coffee or what you always call like a nightcap? You know how they do on the movies or whatever. But you're not even saying that. You're not even saying going anywhere. You're talking about just coming to my house. So that lets me know, boom, red flag. He wants to have sex. And that's the only thing that he wants to do. He does not want to meet up and go hang out with me. I'm so used to, and I let him know this, I'm so used to my son's father because my son's father never asked to come back to my place. He knew I stayed alone, but he never asked to come back to my place and saying, hey, can I come over there? He would always be like, you want to come over here? Or do you want to, go to the mosh? They're doing a light, and that was our first date, which was so different for me. But our first meetup was going to the mosh to do the I done forgot now because my son had came over here. Oh my God, it was the mosh. It was the laser light show for I'm 44. I'm not that old. But my memory, it's a rock group. And I like the rock group, and I cannot think of the freaking name of the rock group. And I was so excited. I was so like, oh, he's going to get something. No, but, I didn't have, we had been talking and messaging just like me and this guy. And the first meet that we ever did, he asked me out, where he took me to somewhere that he knew that I would like, because we had stated that I like this type of music, and we liked the group. It was something that we shared an interest in. And he was like, well, this would be a good idea for us to go. That was our first time meeting. Like, why can't I find that? And of course, we dated for like 3.5 years, but it did not last. We had a baby, but I could have been with him if what did he tell me? He was like, he didn't want to move on with whomever that he met. And I know I'm getting off subject, with whomever he met while we were talking. And he stated that. And I was like, well, I hope you have fun with them. He was like, and he was a little frustrated by that. And he was like, well, I haven't, moved on with them yet. If you would ask me to marry you, I would have said yes. And I'm like, so you want me to propose to you? That was not something that I was going to do. Not something, he's letting me know that that's what he wanted, but I did not do it. And I don't know, what if that was like the biggest mistake of my life? Who knows? Whatever. But he's moved on. I've moved on. So, but it's like, it took me so long to find that. And I'm not saying that I'm not going to find it. I just want something I can lead a double life. I don't want to bring it here. And that's where the horoscope comes into play, and where it was so real. It connected with me. So, and I didn't figure it out because, again, the conversation didn't move to that point. But now that we're here, I'm like, that is what it was talking about, my reputation. My neighbors know me. I'm not going, and I let him know, I'm like, I don't want to invite you over to my place just for you to come over here and you sleep with me and then you gone. You know what I'm saying? If we were dating for a good time and then, I'm inviting you over, that's different, but not as a first meetup. And the fact that you've reneged on us meeting up in a public place and doing something together is kind of letting me know that this person actually don't want to be either on a date with me or seen with me. He only wants that one thing for me. He did state that he was single, that he's always date older. So this person is supposed to have 2 adult children who don't live with him. He lives by himself. Why are you inviting yourself to my house when you know I have a child? Knowing that I'm the one that has to get the babysitter and everything. So he knows this. He knows that I have to plan for this. So I'm trying to figure out, what are you saying? He knows that I've discussed that I want to meet up and do something fun, with him. And because he cannot do that, because he has not come up with something that we can do outside of him coming to my house, that is a red flag. And he's letting me know that he does not want anything else from me besides that. And when it was going so freaking good, but it always comes to this. This is like, I come to this place all the time meeting these dudes. And I did this one time before. And this was like way years before, when I was probably off and on with my son's father. And I had a streak. And then, I let it go. I had this great conversation with this guy. We had been chatting, and I had this great conversation. I was thinking about me losing my streak. And it hadn't even been this long per my streak of not being intimate with anyone. And I gave it up for this person. And the only thing that he wanted from me was that. Because after that, it was no more conversation from him. It was no more finessing to get to know me. It was no more anything from this person. So I learned my lesson on that, okay? If I was going to give up the cookies, it was going to be because I wanted to, And because I was vibing with this person on a real connected level, like me and my son's father. And again, we dated for a good time. So I'm spoiled in that department because he never asked to come over to my house. He did not care about going out with me and me going over to his place. Now, the red flag for me, and it may not be true, when a dude is immediately wanting to come over to your place, and that means that he has somebody in that house. That place is, or he doesn't want to bring anyone over that he knows that he doesn't want people to see him with. Right? Again, when these dudes are meeting women on Woo Plus and any type of dating app, it's always it's a fetish that they have. No, Zayden, that's mama's. How did you get that bookmark? Like, how are you getting into my stuff? So it's like, I try. I really do try. I try, but I mean, it's like, can y'all see the lace? I don't know why I'm talking about that on this video, but this is the Love Me wig that I got. And I don't really have to put any glue on it. I put the little makeup on, but you might still can tell, I guess, whatever. Whatever.